Dear friends, today is March 11th, marking the 12th day of ongoing conflict across the Middle East. The United States, Israel, and Iran continue to exchange attacks, launching missiles and plunging the region into further chaos. The Iranian Revolutionary Guard has announced this is the 35th wave of their attacks against Israel and the United States. The fighting has severely impacted global shipping. Oil tankers are blocked in the Strait of Hormuz, a critical choke point for the world's oil supply. In response, reports indicate that international reserves are being tapped, with oil being released from strategic storage facilities. Meanwhile, as President Donald Trump has stated that the fighting is almost over, though he could not provide a specific end date for the war, adding only that it will conclude when the United States decides. What is the latest situation in the Strait of Hormuz? I will summarize the situation in the Strait of Oman, which is critical to this conflict, in three key parts. First, the mining of the strait. Second, the attacks on cargo ships. And third, the international response regarding oil supplies. Regarding the first point, the laying of naval mines. Sources deemed reliable by CNN and Rika have confirmed that Iran has begun laying naval mines in the Strait of Oman. They are believed to still have 80 to 90% of their mine-laying capacity available, meaning they could deploy over 1,000 more mines. In response, President Trump posted on social media stating he had not received official reports of Iranian mine-laying, but if Iran has done so, he demands they hurry up and remove them. He described the situation as very dangerous. Iranian Foreign Minister Khamenei has stated that Iranian mine-layers have already attacked 16 ships, reiterating their position that they will not allow free passage. The Myanmar government also confirmed that Iran is holding a Myanmar-flagged vessel hostage. However, they have not yet ordered any cargo ships to leave the strait, stating that the port area remains safe. The second key issue involves direct attacks on cargo ships, highlighting the insecurity in the region. According to reports, at least 3 cargo ships are at immediate risk of attack in the Gulf of Oman, though their exact location has not been specified. A Thai-flagged cargo ship was confirmed attacked by the Thai Navy. 23 crew members were rescued, but 3 remain missing. The incident occurred just 11 miles of the coast of Oman. Separately, a Japanese-flagged cargo ship was attacked near Saudi Arabia, and an unidentified vessel was targeted near Dubai. The British government, which monitors maritime trade, has confirmed these attacks and is advising all naval operations to exercise extreme caution when transiting the area. There is also confusion regarding naval losses. The United States claims to have sunk 60 Iranian ships, while Iran claims to have sunk 13 as vessels. Both claims remain unverified. Now, the third point, the impact on global oil markets. With the Strait of Hormuz effectively closed, oil exports have halted, forcing tankers onto longer, more expensive routes. In response, the International Energy Agency, IEA, comprising 32 member nations, mostly from Europe, North America, and Southeast Asia, has announced it will release 400 million barrels of oil from strategic reserves to stabilize prices. This agency was established in 1974, following the 1973 Arab oil embargo, specifically to address such emergencies. The head of the IEA, Mr. Fay, stated that while total reserves stand at 1.2 billion barrels, half of that 600 million barrels is held by member governments. He called this release a historic event, marking the largest emergency oil release in the agency's history. President Trump stated that the attack is almost over. What specific targets has the US set, and is this a sign that the operation is concluding? According to a Central Command head, General Brad Cooper, the US has struck 5,500 land-based targets across the region and sank 60 Iranian vessels of various types. The US has also issued a warning to Iranian citizens working on or living near commercial ships, telling them to evacuate immediately. The warning states that if Iran uses these commercial vessels or ports as military platforms for attacks, those locations will be targeted. However, the US has denied targeting Iranian energy facilities, stating that previous strikes on such sites were carried out by ISIS. General Cooper clarified that the primary goals are to target Iran's missile stockpiles and degrade its nuclear weapons capability. Regarding President Trump's statement that the attack is almost over, he suggested that there are few remaining targets. This likely aligns with CIA assessments on available objectives. When asked about the war's end, Trump stated simply, "It will end when I want it to end." Earlier in the campaign, Trump suggested the war could last 3 to 4 weeks, possibly up to 6. Now, He claims operations are ahead of schedule. He also framed Iran's aggression against other Middle Eastern nations as proof that Iran is a threat not only to Israel and the US, but to the entire region. To answer to the question about whether this signals the end, let's look at Trump's four original war goals. First, to strike Iranian military sites and reduce its nuclear arsenal. Second, to cripple Iran's naval forces. Third, to prevent Iran from producing nuclear weapons. And fourth, to disrupt funding and weapons distribution to Iranian proxies. Points 1 and 2 appear to be well underway. Point 4 is being jointly pursued with Israel, particularly against Hezbollah. However, it remains unclear whether key nuclear facilities such as the Natanz enrichment plant or the Fordo facility have been successfully neutralized. Israel has its own objectives. Defense Minister Kofi Israel stated they will fight until their goals are achieved, including encouraging the Iranian people to overthrow their own government. This aligns with comments from Israeli officials who assess that the current Iranian regime could fall within a year. While regime change was not among Trump's stated goals, he has previously encouraged Iranian protesters to seize the opportunity to overthrow their government. More recently, he has called for a democratic Iranian leader and emphasized destroying Iran's military capabilities. It remains unclear how these overlapping US and Israeli objectives will be reconciled or achieved. What role has Europe played in this conflict? And have they launched operations alongside the United States? Europe has been actively involved, though their actions are framed as protective measures rather than direct support for strikes. Let me summarize the deployments as of March 11th, based on a CNN report. French President Emmanuel Macron has deployed 8 ships and a destroyer to the eastern Mediterranean and Red Sea. Greece is sending 2 destroyers to Cyprus, along with 4 F-16S anti-aircraft missiles and additional fighter jets. Italy has announced it will send a joint Italian-led delegation to Cyprus. The Netherlands is deploying H and LMS missile ships to the same region, accompanied by the British vessel HMS Pangri and 2 anti-air helicopters. Germany has deployed the FGS Veloja to the southern port of Pescara, along with 6 F-16 fighter jets and an air defense system to the northern part of Cyprus. Beyond military aid, the European Union is sending $115 million in humanitarian assistance to Lebanon, which is facing a severe crisis due to the ongoing war. According to EU Commission official Ms. Ozella, the bloc is also dispatching 40 tons of humanitarian supplies to Lebanon. So while Europe is not directly participating in offensive operations, they are significantly reinforcing the region to protect assets, support allies, and address the humanitarian fallout. Thanks for watching. If you like my video, please help to subscribe my channel. Thanks.